Hello, this is Group 2. We're here to present MedChain, our solution to improve phase 3 clinical trials. One of the biggest roadblocks to ethical and efficient clinical research, especially in phase 3, is the lack of access to high-quality consented patient data. As a pharmaceutical physician with hands-on experience in conducting this type of trials, I've seen firsthand how this gap affects both key stakeholders, pharmaceutical companies and patients. In pharma, we face major challenges in three particular areas. First, the data silos that prevent insights from being cross-referenced, causing delays and inefficiencies in the system. Second, data security and compliance, due to the sensitive nature of health information and the complexity of regulatory requirements. And third, recruitment bottlenecks, with over 80% of trials missing enrollment targets, extending timelines and costs. Now, on the patient side, they are mostly left out of the process. They face limited control over their health records and low engagement in managing their own data. And on top of that, privacy concerns are widespread, with no clear mechanisms to understand how the data is used. Importantly, patients do not share the data to benefit a particular company. They do it to help others, to advance science, and to improve care for everyone. In short, the system presently is fragmented. While pharma struggles to access usable data, patients are disengaged and left in the dark. Joseph will now take us through an overview of the solution.
As Ricardo said, both pharma companies and patients face major challenges in clinical trials. So in terms of their needs, pharmas need reliable, compliant patient data to reduce trial costs, timelines, and meet transparency regulations. Patients, on the other hand, they lack control over their own data, their own health data. Current systems are fragmented, is low, and often erode trust. So our approach is to use blockchain to create a decentralized platform where patients securely store and share their data. Through anonymization protocols and smart contracts, we ensure consent traceability and full regulatory compliance. In terms of competition, what sets MedChain apart is its patient-centric blockchain-powered model. We address the core inefficiencies of today's trials by enabling secure data sharing, consent automation, and tokenized compensation for patients. Ignacio, with you.
Yes. MedChain delivers key benefits for both pharmaceutical companies and patients. For pharma and CROs, it provides access to rich, real-world evidence that helps reduce recruitment times, trial cost, and improves outcomes, all while meeting transparency and auditability standards. For patients, it empowers them by giving ownership of their health data and enabling ethical, consent-driven data sharing. MedChain will win by targeting high-need therapeutic areas like oncology and rare diseases, where patients' engagement is crucial. Technically, we focus on blockchain-based consent flows, smart contract execution, and secure anonymization. Our business model is B2B licensing for CROs and pharma, supported by strategic partnerships with hospitals and patient advocacy groups to build trust and adoption. Lastly, this is the right space because clinical trials are shifting towards transparency, auditability, and patient-centric models. MedChain is positioned as both a compliance enabler and a strategic differentiator aligned with regulatory and industry needs. Let's go with Shaima now.
So, based on our research, we've identified two key personas who reflect the core challenge in our healthcare data ecosystem. We have Emma, a 34-year-old cancer survivor who wants to share her health data but worries about privacy, misuse, and unclear consent. She needs a simple, transparent tool that gives her control over her data. On the other side, we have James, a 52-year-old pharma research director. He struggled to access diverse, high-quality data due to strict regulations and slow manual processes. He needs instant, verified, and compliant data access. Both of them face difficulties and challenges, but solving both of them unlock trust, efficiency, and better healthcare outcomes. Natalina will take us through the solution story journey.
The following storyboard illustrates the journey of a patient using the MedChain app. The patient would open the app and log in with a biometrical identifier or password. He will then find a dashboard where he can either check his own health data or start the data donation process. If he starts the donation process, he can choose which data he wants to share and to which clinical research he wants to donate his data. Once he has made his selection, he gives informed consent through a blockchain-based contract. He will also receive a digital token as appreciation, and as a very last step, he will get a confirmation of the successful donation process. Now over to Adim for technology.
So MedChain's architecture is designed to fix the core issues in phase 3 clinical trials: data silos, weak consent system, and lack of patient control, using blockchain as its backbone. At the base, we use a permissioned blockchain ledger that records every data interaction, upload, consent, access, in a tamper-proof, time-stamped format, creating full traceability and auditability across the ecosystem. Sensitive health records, on the other side, are stored off-chain in secure encrypted databases, either within hospital systems or compliant cloud storage. The blockchain holds hashes of those files to prove data integrity without exposing private information. We layer on smart contracts for dynamic consent. These contracts define who can access what data, for what purpose, and for how long. Patients can change or revoke their consent anytime through the app, and access is automatically controlled based on those rules. Each user has a digital identity tied to private keys, giving them full control over data access. Researchers never see personal identifiers, only anonymized profiles that match their criteria. Before sharing any data, we apply anonymization protocols, and where needed, use zero-knowledge proofs to confirm eligibility without revealing actual content. Finally, the system is wrapped in an integration layer of API that connects with EHRs, trial management systems, and regulatory tools. This ensures MedChain fits into real-world clinical workflows without requiring major system changes. Together, this structure builds a secure, compliant, and patient-driven data-sharing ecosystem, one that accelerates research while protecting trust. Off to you, Ibrahim.
So what is next? The first thing, we will validate the core problem and MVP scope. We will do interviews with key stakeholders to confirm the biggest pain point, define only the must-have feature for the MVP. Second thing, we will develop lean pilot program and recruit early adopters. We will design simple, focused pilot with a chosen pharma partner and patient group. Get their commitment to use the MVP and give feedback. Then we will build and iterate the core blockchain consent and consent MVP by quickly build the basic blockchain and smart contract features for securely collection patient data, managing details consent, and allowing de-identified access for the pilot. Then we will execute the pilot and gather initial feedback by running the pilot program, keep close eye on how it performed, and collect feedback from pharma partner and patient to make fast improvement. And the final thing, we will refine the value proposition and prepare for seed funding. We will use the pilot results and feedback to improve MedChain value proposition, start preparing materials for seed funding, showing early success and proven use cases. At the same time, talk to regulatory experts for early advice. Thank you.